Alright, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Abanawa Yahweh, by Shema Mashak Yahushua, in the name of His Holy Son, alright, whom He sent for the nation of Israel, alright, His righteous servant. This video is going to be going into the biblical calendar, and that that 354-year calendar for the lunar cycle is off, pretty much because it doesn't align with scriptures, and there's no examples you can show in Yahweh's Torah, alright, that the Israelites ever had a 354-year calendar, which goes back to Babylon. But this is going to be going into the biblical calendar and proving that we had 12 years in our, it's like 12 months in our calendar in a year, 12 months in a year, and there were 30-day months, man. Each month was 30 days. Alright, and that can be proven in the Da'arah and through the prophetic years. And I'm also going to read from the book of Jubilees, showing that if you add the math up, that the so-called calendar for the months would have had to been 30 days in a month, all right, or 360 days in a year, which they call the prophetic year, all right, which we can see clearly that the prophetic year is in it's in the Da'arah, and it's also in the Gospels in the New Testament, and it's in the book of Daniel, but I'm not going to really bring that out. I'm just going to be dealing with the flood, all right, Yahweh willing. All right, so I want to first show that we had 12 months of 30 days, all right, which I'm not going to prove each month by month, but I'm just going to show a few precepts that prove if you add up to a certain amount of months, that it adds up to, you know what I'm saying, a certain amount of months, which would prove that the calendar would be 360 days in a year. Alright, I'm going to read this from Wikipedia. Alright, Israel, which y'all can look this up, is prophetic years, which it totally shows and explains it, man. How we had 30 days in a month. And I got actually some precepts in the Apocrypha as well to prove we had 30 days in a month. This is from the prophetic years on Wikipedia. It says, in ancient times, 12 30-day months were used, making a total of 360 days for the year. So we had 12 months of 360 days, man. All right, which it means there was 30 days in each month, Israel. So anything other than that is it's not Torah and it's not biblical. It says Abraham used the 360-day year, which was known in Ur. It says the Genesis account of the flood in the days of Noah. The biblical account of the flood in the days of Noah illustrated this 360-day year. So in the account of the flood of Noah, it depicts and shows that this 360-day year exists in the Torah. All right, by reckoning the 150-day interval till the waters abated from the earth. So it took 150 days, Israel, when the Most High flooded the earth. It took 150 days till the water started to disappear or descend. And where did the water go? It went to the underworld, man. All right, the different underworlds of the earth. All right, Israel. So that proves also that there's different regions and locations in the earth, in caverns and things of that nature, and different abysses, man. So that's where all the water went. It didn't evaporate and go into heaven, Israel. All right. So we have 30 days in a month and 360 days in a year, Israel. That can be proven through Genesis chapter 7. It says, I'm going to let me finish this real quick. It says, Noah illustrated this 360-day year by reckoning the 150-day interval till the waters abated from the earth. In other words, it indicates a 5-month period as being exactly 150 days in length, or 5 30-day months. All right. So the Thou Rock clearly says that it took 5 months for the waters to decrease on the earth, Israel. The waters that were flooded by the Most High. So 5 months in the Thou Ra is 150 days, Israel, which is 30-day months. All right. Because if you multiply 5, it's like it. Let me get a verse, Israel. 5 times 30, Israel, is 150. All right. It's on the calculator, Israel. Do the math. Do the math, Israel. 5 times 30, Slakia. 5 times 30 is 150. That's 150 days. It said the waters didn't abase or descend until after 150 days, Israel. So it was 5 months. All right, let's go back onto here. Exactly 150 days in length, or 5 30-day months. We see it here in the account of the flood. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, in the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up. So that's talking about the waters from under the earth. All right, the different regions where there's other waters that's below the sea. All right, Israel, the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. Right, so it was raining. It was raining, and water coming out of the firmament, man. I know Israel probably don't believe that, but it is what it is. All right, because the firmament is likened unto glass, which is a window. Okay, Job called it a molten glass. Okay, and the Dead Sea Scrolls speak of a sky dome. Man, I ain't even gonna get that, but either way it go, you know what I'm saying. It started to flood, and the waters from the great deep started to bring water up on the earth. It started when Noah was 600 years old, and it was in the second month, Israel, on the 17th day. So we're gonna see 5 months from this day, from the second month, is gonna be the 7th month, and that's when the water started to decrease. And then the next verse is gonna prove it in a minute. It says, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. So this is when all the water started to flood the earth from the windows of heaven and from the fountains of the great deep, because it wasn't just from just the rain alone. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days, Israel. So it said the waters was on the earth for 150 days, Israel. That's Genesis 7:24. You can look it up. And the ark rested in the 7th month. So we see the ark rested in the 7th month. That's when the waters started to decrease. All right, so it started in the second month, and it ended in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. That's Genesis 8:4. All right, so the 150 days began on the 17th day of the second month, and it ended on the 17th day of the 7th month, Israel. So that's clearly 5 months, man. Okay, it's 5 months. You get it in Genesis 7:11. In the 600th year Noah's life, in the second month. So showing you right here, it started in the second month. It's gonna end in the 7th month. So that's 5 months, man. Period. From the second month to the 7th month, Israel. That's 5 months. 5 months equals 150 days in the Torah, which means that there were 30-day months. All right, which means the calendar would have to be 360 days in a year, because 5 times 30, like I showed you earlier, 5 times 30 equals 150. All right, that's why it says the waters prevailed on the earth for 150 days. Right? It says in the second month, this is the starting period when it started to flood the earth. The 17th day of the month. It's the second month on the 17th day. The same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. right? So this is when the earth started flooding. And on the second month, Israel. So it goes from the second month all the way to the seventh month. That's 5 months. And the rain, Genesis 7 and 12, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Right? It was raining for 40 days and 40 nights, but that's not the only way the water got on the earth to flood the earth, though, Israel. It was the fountains of the great deep as well, the waters from the underworld and the abysses. All right? Now I'm going to jump down to, what's like it? Jump down to Genesis 7 and 24. It says, and the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days, man. So the waters that destroyed all those damn demons in the time of the flood, and Nephilim and all the wicked descendants, man, that was evil and all that, the heathens, and you know what I'm saying, who the Most High destined to be destroyed, especially the Nephilim, right? The water was on earth for 150 days, Israel, which proves that the biblical calendar was 360 days in a year. That's 5 months, man. The waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. 150 days. 5 months, Israel. Let's go to Genesis 8 now. Genesis 8 and Genesis 8 and 3. I'm gonna start at Genesis 8 3 because it's about to. I know this video about to end quick. And the waters returned from off the earth continually, and after 150 days, the waters were abated. All right, so the waters decreased after 150 days, Israel. That's 5 months. Showing you it started in the second month. Now we in the 7th month. So that's 30 days a month for 5 months. And the ark rested on the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountain Ararat, and the waters decreased continually. So after that 5 month period.